morning, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We're at 3066 Southeast 26th Street here in Gresham, located at the front of the house. I describe everything as if you're standing out in the road facing the front door of the home. We are sitting about 3 feet in from the front left corner. Another great landmark is if you lose track of this thing, right between the two bushes and sitting perfectly straight out from that foundation vent here at the corner of the house. So we're dropping into a 3-inch ABS cleanout, checking the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water's running, we are zeroed out, and off we go. So right out of the gate here, just spotless clean flow line. That is exactly how you want your line to look right there. That's the hallmark of a homeowner that has been minding their P's and Q's as it relates to not putting cooking oil or fats in general down the kitchen sink. After 13 years and 25,000 sewer scopes and tons of drain cleaning, grease buildup has become something, I mean, when it's thick grease buildup anyway, becomes a lot more concerning, honestly, in my opinion, than a lot of structural issues. Bellies, offset joints, things like that. Not that they can't cause problems when they get to the more severe end of things, but when they're kind of on the marginal end, even relatively severe, a lot of times when I'm going out and clearing out a blockage, what I often find is it's a conjunction of things. Structural issue combined with grease buildup that makes the line sticky, slows everything down, and then often the job is finished by someone flushing wipes, paper towels, or a bunch of giant balls of toilet paper down the line. It's often grease buildup, stuff like that, that can turn a structural issue into something that can actually cause a problem, especially under normal usage circumstances or proper usage. If you're new to home ownership, best advice I can give you, there's almost nothing you can do to maintain a sewer line as a homeowner because it's buried 5 feet deep underground. One thing you can do to help improve flow is just not putting stuff like that down the line. Grease, cooking oil, and obviously improper items. And I include flushable wipes in the improper category. They are slightly less terrible than paper towels and wipes are. It's what makes them such a good product for wiping the old rear end, is they're strong, they hold up, but it's also what makes them a problem for the sewer line. So what I tell most people, if you're going to use them at all, obviously you want your line to be clean of grease buildup because they will get stuck in it pretty nicely, but you want to flush those things separately from everything else, and ideally one at a time, not balled up. So when they get balled up or wadded up is where they become a real problem. Anyway, we've hit the main here at about 64 feet. We're going to go locate that really quick while the line drains out, and then we'll take a second look at everything as we come back. I don't suspect we're going to find anything. This line looks fantastic so far. All right, located the camera head successfully. Line terminates on Southeast 26. The line here does essentially a dead straight shot right to the street. Anyhow, to mitigate grease buildup, we kind of got off on a tangent there about wipes. Rule of thumb I tell most people to live by: if you've got enough grease or oil on your pans, this is when the pans are hot or warm, where stuff's still in kind of a liquid state. If there's enough on your pan, if you were to turn that pan sideways, and there's enough to flow off the pan or run off in beads, it's at that point you want to do something about it. Let the pans cool down, wipe it out with a paper towel, or scrape it off with a spatula or something into a garbage can, or pour it into a jar when it's still liquid. A thin little coating of PAM spray is no big deal. Hot water and soap does the job on that. One of the keys to helping mitigate it building up, if you know some amount is getting down the line, always use hot water and soap, but let your hot water run for about a full, at least 30 seconds to a minute. You don't really need to do more than that after your last dish is washed. That helps to ensure that anything that does get down line remains melted and emulsified until it gets out to the main, or at least a good distance from the house. All the pipe there is, all the green PVC looks great. Joints are tight, drains off beautifully. My foot counter is not counting back for some reason. And that hot water does a great deal to keep things moving. But when you shut your hot water off right after you're done washing dishes, it remains hot through the crawl space, but once that water hits the exterior, where the pipe's underground and cold all the time, it starts to harden up very quickly. So hence the reason to keep it running for just a little bit longer. I just flip the camera around going backwards. This right here is the dive, as the line dives down to exit the house. Everything from this point on, and this is where you get your real evidence as to whether or not someone's cleaned their line preemptively for the sale. Nobody cleans backwards. They only clean out towards the street. This is a household that's been living clean for a long time. Great looking sewer line there. That right there is about as good as a sewer scope can possibly go. That piping there is as updated as it gets. Absolutely perfectly straight shot to the street, which is ideal, and spotless clean to boot. You rarely get all those things in one. Sewer line is functioning properly at this time.